Hello, everyone. This is Gemini Jets 1975 coming at you with a very, very special video today. This is my 200th subscriber video, just as promised. I want to start off by saying an immense, huge thank you to everybody. I never thought that I would have this many subscribers this fast. The coolest thing in the world. Um, I'm also at 11,000 views, and coincidentally, the video that I am making at this very moment is my 100th video. Well, as promised, guys, I said I was going to do a Q&A video, so let me pull up the questions here, and here we go. The first questions were asked by that airplane guy. First question was, if there was one thing you could change about aviation, what would it be and why? Um, that's a tough question. I would say mainly that a lot of the airlines that I would stop or prevent a lot of the airlines that merged or disappeared in the 80s from doing so, primarily because most of the airlines that disappeared have totally disappeared, meaning that the airline that bought them, their assets or whatever, um, there's nothing left. You can't even tell that the airline was around. In fact, with U.S. Air, the only thing left before American took them over of U.S. Air was Charlotte. I mean, of Piedmont, excuse me. So, and they had four hubs, and all of them but one are gone. And uh, I'm surprised America West, although that was much later, uh, even Phoenix is still around. But anyway, I would say I would prevent most of the mergers or takeovers from the 1980s because things would be a lot more interesting with a lot more airlines around right now. Um, Second question, if you could ask Gemini Jets to make any model, what would it be? And it can't be one that's already been released. Well, that's pretty tough too. Um, let's see, Gemini Jets. Uh, Actually, I do know. Um, when Braniff International was around, there was a 727 painted in a special Cowboys livery, Dallas Cowboys livery, and the team used it to travel very briefly. I think it might have been that one season, or it might have been a few games. I read exactly how much they used it, but I don't remember. So I would say Gemini Jets should release the Dallas Cowboys special livery 727 from Braniff International. That would be, well, I would definitely buy that. All right. Next, let's see, make sure I got all of those. AirTran Fan 15. If I had to go anywhere to spot, where would I go or where would I fly to? Um, there's probably several places. New York JFK, LAX. Um, I wouldn't even mind going to Detroit Metro. Overseas, possibly London Heathrow, Paris Charles de Gaulle, or Amsterdam. Number two, what is your favorite airline and why? Well, most of you probably already know what my favorite airline is, but probably don't know why. My favorite airline is Delta. And why? Well, basically because my dad worked for them. And um, I just, basically because he worked for them. I mean, I always thought that they were pretty cool and that they, they had at one time, especially, in the 80s when I was real young, they had some of the best service that any airline, offered, including international airlines. And, you got meals in coach. Uh, I mean, they free meals at that. And it was, a much better, you know, it was a lot more fun to travel back then than it necessarily is now. But I still like to fly. That hasn't changed. But anyway, um, if you had to, if you got to own an airport, which would it be? I would probably say DFW. Um, DFW for a very long time by land area was the largest airport in the entire world. And obviously, I think the one in Riyadh, is it Riyadh? Someone knows, you can comment below. But there's an airport that's been built since then that is definitely bigger. But by land area, well, heck, even Denver International might be, but DFW Airport has its own zip code. It has its own post office. So the place is pretty dang big if if you got that. So when they built it, they were smart. They got all this land, so that the city couldn't encroach on it, unlike Love Field and countless other airports. But you know, I would say DFW. Plus, I used to fly out of there all the time, in and out of there. So you know, I haven't in 14 years. But anyway, well, guys, that is it for the questions. And I do know Gemini Jets 56 asked me to do a video of my entire collection. So what I'll probably do is do that because um, there weren't very many questions for you guys. I mean, if you have any other questions, comment on this video, and obviously aviation related, just like these questions, and I'd be more than happy to answer them. So, anyways, guys, uh, you guys are what make Gemini Jets 1975 the channel it is. I thank you very, very much again for subscribing and enjoying my content. And, you know, the sky's the limit as far as, you guys make this channel as big as it's going to be. So, um, I do, uh, I just went spotting yesterday. So, there's that video on that, which is my 99th video, the one right before this one. And I definitely hope to do more once it cools off and the wind starts blowing out of the north again after cold fronts come in. I'll be spotting at San Antonio because of the runway configuration, and unfortunately there's not an official spotting spot here. I have to do it when the wind is blowing out of the north. So any of you guys waiting for San Antonio spotting, that's basically when that's going to be. In the meantime, uh, as long as it's hotter than Hades outside, I'll be doing Austin Bergstrom spotting. So anyway, again, for the millionth time, guys, thank you so much for subscribing. Uh, let me know if there's anything that you'd like to, else you'd like to see on the channel. Uh, you know, I still have some models by airline videos because I've got so many different airlines. And so that'll keep me busy for a little while. But if you didn't think of anything else you'd like me to do, don't hesitate to comment. And see you guys in the next video.